Okay, I think we can get going. We're 2 minutes in, so anyone who's late is late. So yeah, once again, welcome everyone. Great to have you here. Appreciate you spending the time with us, whether it's during the day or the evening. I'm joined here by Robert Radek. He's our product manager. He's going to be presenting, so you won't have to listen to me for too long. And then Jeremy Harkness-Mikes will be joining us shortly as well, just to help at the end with some of the Q&A. So he'll probably say hi a little bit later. He was just finishing off something else. But yeah, welcome everyone. As I said, it's great to have you here. So we've had obviously quite a few AMAs over the last year. We've had a couple of technical sessions. So this is a bit different. We're going to focus on the product roadmap to be specific, and that's obviously why Robert is presenting. Just before that, I just want to give you a bit of feedback of what I've been up to, just because it's relevant to everyone. I was fortunate to spend the last 2 weeks in Cannes in south of France. And that wasn't, well, a little bit of holiday, but the main reason was to be there for ETHCC, which happened in Cannes. There was also another opportunity that came up just before that. So I went a couple of days earlier, and I was actually invited to attend the Global Family Office Investment Summit, which was, as it states, as a family office focus in terms of investment. I was lucky to join on one of the panels and also presented Blockdag there. So some interesting conversations out of that, but also very good exposure as well. And then after that, ETHCC, not sure if anyone here was able to make it to that, but lots of very good streams. I mean, a lot of streams focusing on AI, some specific side events on AI. So that's, as we all know, is the flavor at the moment. A lot of it in AI, and a lot of it around how blockchain and AI and agentic AI is unfolding in the world. So yeah, I joined quite a few of those. But the main aim was actually, besides just to be there and to experience those, or to learn from those events, was to meet up with exchanges. That's obviously part of our go-to-market strategy. So very fortunate to meet up with the likes of Kraken, OKX, Coinbase, Bitpanda, Uphold, trying to think a couple of others as well that we met up with. So that was very useful. And then also a few market makers as well. So that was very useful and worthwhile. And yeah, a couple of Blockdag holders came up and said hi. So I had a chance to chat to some of our Blockdag holders, which was really nice. And that was obviously, I was wearing my Blockdag T-shirt with branding on it, so people knew who I was, and yeah, it was great that they came up and introduced themselves. So to everyone who did that, thanks very much. Yeah, so I think I'm going to hand over to Robert now. He's going to take us through the roadmap. It's part of this is obviously to update everyone where we are, but it's also very much a focus in terms of trying to show that we are being more transparent around what we're doing, both for the business and also, well, from a business perspective as well as from a tech perspective. So I think I'm sure you'll all appreciate what he takes you through, and also the additional flexibility, additional visibility that some of the platforms that he's going to show you will give around the processes that we're following. And I think without further ado, I'm just going to hand over to Robert. I see Jeremy's joined us as well. So hi, Jeremy. Thanks for joining us. I did mention to everyone you're going to help out potentially with any more tricky questions at the end. That being said, we will have a Q&A session at the end. Obviously, we need to keep it more to the product level and not too technical, but Jeremy is here as well. So if anyone gets a little bit technical, then that's also okay. Anyway, there's Jeremy, but for now, let me hand over to Robert. He'll introduce himself more thoroughly and take you through everything. Thanks very much, Robert. Over to you.
Thank you, Anthony. Thank you, Jeremy. Thank you, guys. I'm very happy that I can join our EMA and meet you guys and talk a little bit about our roadmap. Before that, I will do a short intro. My name is Robert Radek. I come from Poland, and actually, I become a crypto geek before I become a product manager. Back in 2013, I established one of the first crypto foundations in Poland, and thanks to that, I was able to actually travel and meet wonderful people in different crypto ecosystems. I've been working as a consultant from a product perspective in different companies. I was running crypto startups, and recently I joined. Um, a couple of years ago, I've joined institutional lending and borrowing in the crypto space, and since February, I'm here with Blockdag team, and I'm super thrilled. Um, just in all those years, I've learned there are four very important things in life. One is time, the second is your focus, the third is your family and friends, and the third and fourth is, of course, your influence. I don't want to waste too much of your time, but I'm just saying that time is super important. I want to help you focus on the great stuff with Blockdag. And in regards of family and friends, I hope everyone is happy in your ecosystem. And in regards of the, um, let's say, influence, um, my main goal in Blockdag is to build great product that you guys can build on top. And in a couple of months from now, on some Blockdag event or crypto event, I would love to meet you and learn that you've actually become successful thanks to us. This is very dear to my heart, and just in the very short term, I'm here for you. I want to establish some kind of communication channel with you to learn more how you see improvement of our products. As I mentioned, it's super important feedback from our community. So without further ado, I will share my screen and I will show you our actual roadmap. So let me do that. All right. Hopefully my screen is visible. Now, before what you actually see, this is the roadmap, which is connected with different project management tools which we are using with different development teams and developers who are working with us on different layers. And by the way, this will be available for you. It's interactive and it actually tracks whole work of Blockdag um, in our environment. And it's divided between blockchain, the DeFi infrastructure, the launchpad, the terminal, and X1 with wallet. Basically, you can go to this link and click any of those information. You can learn why it's, what is it, why it matters, what it includes, and how we internally measure the success. And in every column, you have elements like done, now, and next, and later. So the things what we've actually accomplished, what we are working right now, and what are our plans. So in regards of our blockchain, as I will just mention what we built, you can check it online, but actually we delivered the Explorer. It's already been shipped. Also the IDA, the primordial testnet, security audit, and wizard token. And at the moment in Awakening testnet, we are actually finished the blockchain miner integration with X30 and X100. Our EP4337 is an epic which actually helps the developers with gasless transactions and bundles. At the moment, we just finished the documentation and we started to work on that. We've also been improving the backend solution for Explorer and front-end elements of the Explorer, which we launched in our primordial in March, end of the March. We are improving our blockchain stability and scalability, and we removed UTXO from our blockchain. Now, this package will be delivered in mid-September, and well, we'll inform everywhere that you can guys test our new testnet, which is called Awakening. Now, on head-to-head, we are looking at Zeus mainnet, which is in planning, and this is our main goal to achieve. And actually, you can track it here. Okay. Now, another element is the Blockdag DeFi and infrastructure. So what we actually have done, and it's connected with another product, which is Launchpad, we've actually integrated MVP version of the Launchpad to our Blockdag network. It works fine, but this is a very simple Launchpad. Yeah, that was accomplished. At the moment, from the DeFi and infrastructure, we are working on Uniswap for DEX and indexing, as well the Compound for lending and borrowing. Our NFT marketplace is in development. We're almost half there. And we've been involved heavily with the graph development for the Oracle perspective. Recently, we've started to work on Wormhole, or we will start working on Wormhole in the next sprint. Also, what we are looking forward to is the XLAR and the Chainlink for bridges and cross-chain. However, here we are still in the research phase, let's say. We need to make sure that the integration will be proper with our blockchain. Okay. Going next is the Launchpad. So actually, we want to give the opportunity to our community to raise additional funds and build cool applications on our blockchain. And as I mentioned, we've run with the MVP. However, we realized that this MVP needs to be improved. We are double testing it with the testers and also potential projects. We should finish it in maybe a couple of months. It should be for sure ready and improved before the Zeus mainnet. However, what we actually also thinking how to improve the all Launchpad perspective is to create something like Product Hunt. So this is an application where groups, projects, devs can first post their ideas, capture the the community behind it. They can also iterate their idea, and we've created this kind of element where users can create this pre-launch profiles of their ideas. They can get community votes, and they can be those ideas can compete with each other. So instead of creating tokens, instead of preparing the marketing campaign, you can validate your ideas with our community. We see value in that. However, it's still under consideration. And why is that? Because we are also looking for your feedback, and we really need to know if this is something that you're looking forward in the Launchpad or not. At the end of the presentation, I'm going to share an innovation portal with you where you can post your ideas. Now, there's a product called Blockdag Terminal. So we realized that we need to reshape our existing Blockdag website into something more specific, because usually what you have in the crypto space, you have, let's say, foundation website, and you have also the technology website, where it's more focused on the community and the dev, and you have this kind of foundation, the business aspect of it. And at the moment, we are dividing those websites between developer website and community hub. In the community hub, you will be able to use all the projects within the Blockdag ecosystem, and you can easily integrate to it, and you can roll with it. Thanks, Nick. With the developer website, you will have all the necessary information. We'll focus mostly on developers, but you can also join to Launchpad, Grant Program, and Hackathon. By the way, guys, I see that there's many attendees. Check our grants program, check our hackathons, and check our academy. There's interesting opportunities here, and maybe you will find something which will suit to yourself. Okay. And last but not least is the Blockdag X or wallet. Now, you've already been using X1 wallet. There are many users who are using it daily. But what we were also thinking is to create a specific wallet environment to our users. But before that, I will just mention that our team is improving the X1 application at the moment, and we've been already shipped the X1 app integration with X10. There are X10 devices, they can be connected with X1. So from the software to hardware perspective, all is done. Now we are only looking for the logistics. Okay, and in regards of the applications or improvements of the application, you will have your user account mode, token profile management, access to dApp browser, bridge swap, and advanced security setup. However, in regards of the KYC and the fiat off-ramp, on-ramp, we are still considering this because it's quite, I would say, a complex subject. And if we'll be constrained by time, we might not deliver it, but we'll do our best to add it with the same release. However, for sure, we will be integrating the AI enhancement for onboarding and app experience, because this is something that we feel quite powerful. But credit cards integration mode is still under research. Why? Because it depends on the amount of users from different countries, and we want to actually provide the best experience. So it only depends on amount of users from different jurisdictions. Okay, and I believe this is all. However, there's one more thing. So as I was mentioning that I want to have some kind of communication channel with you, and I want to establish one of the first communication channels between product and our token holders, developers, generally people from our ecosystem. There's going to be sent a link called Innovation Portal, where you can choose any other product from our ecosystem, and you can just post your idea, and it will be sent and checked by our product team. So we are really looking forward for your feedback, both from the AMA perspective and all our products into the ecosystem. So again, guys, thank you for your time and attention, as those are the best resources on the planet. And I wish you all the best, and hopefully you can see each other.
Okay, well, thanks very much, Robert. Great to see that. Everything we're working on. I think important to mention, I mean, Robert did mention it, but just to reiterate again, it's the portal we're using which links to our back-end development. So, I mean, we rely heavily on Jira in terms of our workflows, etc. So everything's tracked in Jira, and that all rolls up into that. So it's not that we're sort of making these things up as tasks, and obviously there are multiple tasks sitting in the back under those items. As those get finished off, the percentages will tick up to reflect the level of completeness. Some of the statuses we will update as well, but effectively a live view on what we're developing. We add other work streams in there. There will be new items that appear as well. Things might move around depending on things. If things change with slippage, you'll see them moving out. But yeah, I mean, that's our attempt to being sort of as transparent as possible around what we're developing and the status of it. As Robert said, the Idea Portal is a place for you to provide ideas for us around those products. If you can please keep it to the product, we would prefer no ideas that relate to whether you received your miner or not. It just makes our job more difficult if we're getting a whole lot of sort of irrelevant comments in there. So let's keep that relevant, come up with good ideas, and we're more than keen to listen to that and take those into account where we can. We're quite keen to transition that into a more open voting type environment where ideas are visible publicly. Currently, it doesn't support that. That's why it's a fairly simple sort of process. You submit it and it goes in. The next stage is something more visible where you can see other people's ideas and you can vote on them, and that obviously is what we're aiming towards. But besides building tools like that, we've also got to deliver a blockchain. So it's always a compromise between where we focus. A couple of other notes just wanted to mention. So Rob mentioned in the DeFi stream Axelar and Chainlink. So in case you're not sure, so the other DeFi items, well, let me just mention, so Axelar is a bridge, so that's what's used. Wormhole as well, that was also in there, but that was in the work stream that we're busy with, whereas Axelar was in the future work them. And Chainlink is an oracle. So a bridge obviously allows you to bring currencies and tokens across from other bridges or other chains onto Blockdag and vice versa. And then Chainlink is an oracle. It's a trusted oracle network which provides information to our smart contracts, which they rely on in terms of how they operate. So those are some level of integration and effort that we do to prove that it works, to integrate from a testing perspective. But ultimately, they are community driven. So the community around those two projects need to embrace us and accept us. So we've actually done some work on it, which is part of our testing, etc. But we're engaging now with those two projects to get their buy-in to allow us to embrace us into the community so that we become an accepted party in that community. So that's why they sit there, because it's a little bit out of our hands. But we are, as I said, we've already done quite a bit of work on Axelar, less so on Chainlink. Obviously, the intention is, and it's crucial, and we've stated this from the beginning, when we launch, it's important to have all the components of DeFi. The bits that you don't see would be an indexer, and that is the graph, that's our indexer, and then an oracle. Indexer is something that just helps applications get access to the blockchain information in a better format. It's sort of a fancy version of a cache that helps adapt access to the blockchain information in a more usable format. And then Chainlink is, as I said, that's an oracle. So those are sort of core components that are needed in DeFi, but they are not something that you necessarily as a user would see. But other apps would use them. And then obviously we've got Uniswap, which is an AMM or a DEX. So that's on-chain swaps. Compound, which is lending and borrowing. Obviously the NFT marketplace is self-explanatory. And Wormhole is another bridge as well. And that's one that we implement as opposed to rely on a community to embrace us. So just wanted to mention that. Let me see. Robert mentioned, and I'd just like to make it clear, a provisional date for the next testnet. Soon we'll give you a firm date and we'll go out with that. Right now it's provisional, it's what we're working towards. There's no reason why it won't be middle of September, but as I said, it's just provisional for now. So just bear that in mind. And then obviously overall the launch date for mainnet we haven't set publicly, but it is still towards the end of the year, sometime in Q4. So that hasn't changed, and that'll be announced again once we're ready for that. Mentioned before, there are a couple of reasons why, well, a couple of prerequisites. I mean, certainly having the miners delivered is crucial for that, and obviously having our tech ready. So there are quite a few things that date will depend on. I think that covers everything around that. We're going to go into Q&A now. I know people sometimes start dropping off, so before we do that, I thought let me just mention next presentation's coming up. So I think it was announced today, but next Wednesday, which is the 23rd, we're doing a live demo of the X10. So that's going to be very cool. I mean, the device is absolutely beautiful. You'll see it in the flesh. It's working. We'll show how the X10 pairs with the X1, how you go through the pairing process, how you start mining, etc. So we've got 5 actual devices. We'll do a live demo of that. And then we'll also probably record that, or we'll go out with a video version of that as well. So I mean, that's something to look forward to. And then what we're going to do next Thursday, which is the 24th, is we're going to do another team intro. Some of the team members were introduced along the way, like Robert now. You've met some of them in different formats, but I'm keen that we have, hopefully the whole team is available. We have the whole team on. Everyone can introduce themselves, talk a little bit about where they've come from, what they do, what excites them, why they're with Blockdag, and what they're doing, their day-to-day roles, etc., and anything else they want to share with you. So that's going to be a little bit informal, just going through the team. So it's quite a different session, just again to meet the people behind it, just to show we're all here and we're all very much focused on building this out and launching the best proof of work EVM compatible super fast blockchain this year or next year. So yeah, that's our focus. That's why we're here and we're committed to doing that. I think with that said, we're gonna move on to some questions. And I think, let me just open the floor up to questions. As I said, please keep it to topics. So anything around products, product roadmap. Slightly technical is fine. I mean, Jeremy's here, between us we can handle most, but nothing too technical, please. Even though Jeremy can certainly answer them. Sorry, let me just get the chat's enabled. So go for it. Guys, Jeremy and Robert, I think if we all, just dive in and grab questions that relate to you that you want to answer. We don't have to have any particular protocol. Just dive in. Robert obviously focus more on the product specific stuff, and Jeremy, you grab the technical stuff, and I'll weigh in if necessary. Otherwise, I'll leave you guys to it. So there are a couple of questions on the hackathon. It's not entirely on topic, but it's very exciting what's happening there. We had a hackathon this weekend. It was a small one in Cape Town, which obviously is where quite a few of the team are. The focus was zero knowledge proofs and AI. So we had some interesting projects coming out of that. There will be some videos, etc., that were published, but that's only just finished. But more excitingly, we've got a hackathon that's we had 500 registrations for it. We had 4,500 people registering. We had 500 projects. We took out some of the projects that seemed a bit spammy or were not worth embracing, and we've got about 350 projects that are going to be going forward on that. We're just finalizing that, and the hackathon itself actually kicks off in, I think, 2 weeks' time, if I'm not mistaken. So yeah, hackathons are picking up, and our stated goal is that we're embracing the ambassadors to start running their own hackathons, and that's why we've been running these mini ones, which are then our template to then replicate across the ambassadors. So we're hoping to have 50 hackathons around the world having happened successfully between now and the end of the year. Okay. Again, there are quite a few questions on, are we launching in 2025? Is it possible? Yes and yes. There's questions on, I mean, an interesting one, and it was a discussion we had today in the office around coin owner voting. And I'm going to hand it over to Jeremy because he's championing this. Just to preface it by saying that it's something we're exploring exactly the best approach. But Jeremy, if you just want to give us sort of a quick rundown of what we're looking at there, because I think it's, and the timing is not set. I think the intention is to go this route. So Jeremy, do you want to give us a quick one there?
Thank you, Anthony. Yeah, as far as governance is concerned, we're looking into various ways of improving the, I would say, participation that we would like to get from the community when they do vote. So we're looking into some options where the vote would essentially be, you would lock up your tokens, and in locking your tokens, you get a vote. And there's also potential we might even consider the longer you lock your vote. I mean, the longer you lock your tokens, the greater your vote could be. That's just an idea now, not fixed in stone. But the idea is that the community, the dev community, that would mostly include us, especially in the beginning, would make proposals for changes, and the community would then vote on the proposals. And once the votes are out, there would be a timing mechanism built into the chain, like a locking mechanism, that would give all the miners in the community a chance to adapt to the coming changes that would have been proposed through the proposals. And then at some point in the future, once a certain threshold of miners have indicated that they would adopt this new change, then you'll get an indication that the change will be happening, and then there'll be another short delay before the change gets implemented. And during that short change, all the miners' software will get updated, and at some time in the future, at a specific moment, all the miners will switch to the new version of the node. And if there are any protocol changes at that point, then they will be implemented, and the block versioning and the DAG will essentially start ignoring any blocks that are published by miners that have not been upgraded, and the entire network will move onto the new DAG chain. So yeah, so that's pretty much the whole process. But the important part here is that we are considering the Blockdag token as being necessary for voting, and we're considering how to encourage voting with your tokens, in other words, and encourage, let's say, the holding of tokens to get possibly benefit by locking them up further. I hope that gives you guys a little bit more insight into what we're doing.
Okay, yeah, thanks, Jeremy. Guys, we need more questions on the roadmap. There are quite a few questions around mines, etc. Let's see. There's a question on staking. So the plan is to introduce what we'd probably call as soft staking, pseudo staking. Obviously, we're a proof of work, not a proof of stake chain, so it's not real staking. But the opportunity prior to our TGE launch to lock up a portion of your tokens for a certain period, and based on the period you choose, you'll earn some sort of a reward on that. I mean, I've mentioned a couple of times it's still in the making. So as soon as that's ready, well, actually, you'll see that appear on the roadmap as soon as we've thrashed it out. It's pretty early stage. It actually, Robert, just to mention that it probably should appear somewhere, but it might be hidden in one of the other ones, because there are there is a work stream. We've already actually got screen designs on that. So yeah, the short answer there is yes, we will provide opportunity to stake and give you, we hope, a fairly decent APY. We have to determine exactly what that be. There are quite a few questions on people-specific issues. We're not going to answer specifics here. Just a general question. I know that there are a lot of questions coming through to us. Some of them come through on email, some come through on LinkedIn, etc., asking for support. We can't help you anywhere else. We need to still refer you back to our actual formal support channels. So if you can, please just stick with us. I know it takes us a while to get to them. Some of them are more technically difficult to solve. We've got a reasonable team there, but we've also got quite a backlog that we're working through. You won't be ignored. You won't be forgotten. We will get to you, even if it takes us a bit of time. And we are occasionally also looking through to see if there's items that have been somehow sort of dropped through the gaps, and we'll pick those up. But if you can just keep to the traditional support methods, we do appreciate that. As I said, we will get to all the issues. Just something else it's come through a couple of times on questions around changing wallets. We've had quite a few people over the life of the project who have not lost their seed phrase, but their seed phrase has been compromised, and they have other people that have access to their wallets, and they've asked us for a mechanism to change the wallet. So that has been implemented. It is in the dashboard. So if you go in there, I think in your profile, once you've connected your wallet, which is then obviously our way of verifying that it's you can change your wallet to something else. I think you can do it 3 times. So it is there for you, and it's pretty simple. So hopefully that helps those who needed that functionality. It's off topic, but it's a bit of a hot topic. A lot of people are asking about the NBA sponsorship that we announced. It was a mistake in going out with something which wasn't signed, sealed, and delivered. So we actually had three potential sponsorships that had been agreed. One of them had gone to contracting. We were blocked by the NBA league itself, which was unexpected to us and the club. And it wasn't a Blockdag thing; it was a crypto block. There's still a blanket block on it. As I said, even the club was quite surprised. So we are appealing it. We have, as I said, 3 different clubs that are working with us to go back to them and actually try and change that, because with all the Genius Act changes, etc., in the US, we feel that that's quite over the top and onerous. But at this stage, they're not budging, but we are talking directly to their legal advisors on that. We're hoping to get it overturned, but right now we can't guarantee anything. So we were a little bit quick on the draw in terms of going out with that, but we in the club believed that it was pretty much done and dusted, so they were comfortable. But that was, it was our mistake in even suggesting that it was happening. So we've learned from that. As I said, we're still hoping to pull it off, but it's going to take a bit more time and a bit more effort from our side. So yeah, that's where we are with that. I don't see any other product or roadmap specific questions. Nothing else technical coming through. I think otherwise we're gonna finish off then. So just want to thank Robert very much for presenting, and Jeremy for joining us very briefly, and to everyone else for joining us, spending your time with us. As I said, we've got Wednesday coming up, a live demo of the X10. which is going to be very worthwhile. Come and see that it does exist, that it does work, and it's a very cool device to have. I'm sure after you see it, you'll want one of your own, or maybe 10 of your own. We're in the office, we're all very excited about it just because it's something that we all want to show to our families and our friends. So yeah, join us Wednesday, and then Thursday meet the team, again, a different type of session. And then we are, and I think I might have mentioned it, but we are hoping to have a cadence of one of these almost every week, covering different topics. So we're sort of warming up to that. But that's what we're hoping to do. But yeah, from my side and from the rest of the Blockdag team, just thanks again to all of you. And then Robert, Jeremy, if you guys want to say your thanks as well, I'll hand over and then we'll leave everyone be.
I can get first. Thank you everyone for being here. We appreciate it. We just want to let you know that we're working really hard on the technical side to deliver as much as we can to the community by the time we hit the main launch.
Thank you guys again for your time and attention, and feel free to contact us through Innovation Portal in regards to the product.
Okay, thanks everyone, good evening, and we'll see you on the next session, hopefully all of you plus a whole lot more. Cheers and bye-bye.